Hello, guys, and welcome. We're here with the game 2 of the SA Winter Tour DPC. Still in Div 1, of course, but this time it's going to be Thunder Predator versus Hokori. My panel, of course, is going to be changed slightly. We're going to have a new host, Double Plus. Hello, nice to meet you. And join me, still Bowie, and now Winter.
Hello.
Hello.
My
Good
favorite part
morning.
of this panel, Winter, is seeing where your camera has ended up for this broadcast and seeing what angle you've decided to choose. I'm glad you mix it up every single time. It's really nice.
There's
Yeah.
no fishes here.
Can see that
I moved
beautiful
everything
face.
out from my house.
In case you guys didn't know, Winter is a fish breeder as well. So that's an interesting
Ah.
tidbit in case you were wondering what this TI player has done since.
That's crazy. I actually watched a fish breeding documentary today. This is so random.
Oh, do not tell him. He will give you he will give you the rundown. And this panel will become about fishbowl. You cannot let him start. Okay, it has to
Alright,
be about Dota.
Let's talk about
And we
Why
have a-
would you rather it be about chess?
Yeah, that's the other option. It's true. He doesn't give you the Dota option. We have a match in front of us soon enough. It's gonna be Thunder Predator versus Hokori, and we had the chance to watch Hokori. I hyped them up a lot when they're up against Noping. It did not work out. They didn't look that good, if I'm honest with you. I was really excited about them. Their drafts were fine, but their gameplay was a bit lacking, especially compared to Noping. And from what we've seen from Thunder, and from what we know from the team, they're just better, like than Noping. They're just really good. They're a better version of Noping, I would say. I think they're Hokori 3 years in the future, if I'm honest with you. Like they're just really solid. I am kind of scared for them. I don't know what team beats Thunder Predator besides Beast Coast in this DPC. Would you
Yeah.
agree, Bowie?
I definitely agree that they're better than Hokori. I think it's obviously Noping's job to prove themselves in this tournament, so it's really hard to fare both teams since Noping's a new one. But yeah, this is gonna be a super challenge for Hokori. I think they're really gonna have to step up their drafting, honestly, because in terms of like actual performance, I do feel like Thunder Predator has like a slightly better pedigree. So they're gonna have to really step it up in their drafting, and hopefully they can make this a 3-game series because I don't think it's gonna be easy for them.
They're
Yeah,
gonna need the
Hokori.
cheese.
Yeah, actually, very good point. Because Hokori are the kings at cheese. They have a bunch of cheese picks, mostly involving Alk offlane, and then plus a combination. They used to do Alk offlane versus Puck mid, Alk offlane with a gyrocopter carry, which is cheese, I would say. The difficulty with these picks is that they're up against a good drafter. Like, I don't think it works as easily to cheese them because when these combos, they usually reveal them in the second phase, and with 3 picks, most good drafters will have enough to, or 2
I mean,
picks
they
at
have
least.
nothing to lose, honestly.
Like, you might as well try. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben AA first phase
Didn't
Husker.
they do
Let's
like
go.
Elk plus anti-mage? Was it?
Yes.
That was
Series.
actually decent. I was impressed with how decent it looked.
Yeah. I didn't feel like their execution with the anti-mage was as top tier as I expected, though. Like, I was expecting the anti-mage to be this like rat machine with the Ags, because that's the whole point of the Ags, and it was just okay there. I was impressed by Alk existing and not die in that game, but I don't think that the AM fulfilled its purpose as much as. I guess I'm not that sold on the Alk anti-mage Ags, if I'm honest with you. I think Bristle Black is much stronger, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like fine, and they did ban a lot of the heroes. That the Monkey King was banned too, which is another pretty standard Ags pairing. We'll see. I do. I want to see the Thunder Predator play a little bit more. They're definitely they're a super good team. I think if they had one extra week with Pakaz before the TI qualifiers, they could have probably been the team that qualified instead of SG. These guys, they have like a lot of potential.
I don't know. SG was on fire that close qualifier. SG played
They
some
were,
really
but
good
I
Dota.
really felt like their strength was more like in how like their macro movements and their overall understanding of the game than necessarily the pedigree of their players. I do think the players on Thunder Predator are better than that SG. If I'm being honest here, yeah.
I mean, a week extra boot camp can change a lot of things, to be honest.
Yeah. And now they actually have bootcamp because before, when they were part of Noping, they had some issues that bootcamp, mainly due to COVID situation and them being Peruvian and Bolivian. So also being Bolivian, passports are not as easy there. It's not like Europe. It's kind of difficult to go between borders, especially during COVID times, and a lot of them were kind of stuck. There's a lot of stories that I can't tell on stream, but it was not a nice experience for the poor guys. And now with Thunder Predator, they're all boot camping in Peru, and it's much easier for Oscar to get a passport because he was already ready there to go to Peru. So everything's been solved since, which is pretty nice. That might give him an edge, hopefully. They've been looking really good before, so I'm kind of scared for teams going up against them.
I mean, do they have a coach now?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Right?
think their old coach. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure they have a coach now. Honestly,
Did they have an old coach? Who was their old
No,
coach
no,
when they were in Open?
no. It's just I think I'm actually mixing it up with the unknown, the old unknown. They used to have a coach, right?
Yes.
It was a super famous coach, like the one that actually
Yeah.
brought unknown to the first major SA major. But now they're Thunder Predators, so I guess he didn't really come with them.
But did any of the teams hire like a foreign coach? I think except for like, was it
I
Fear
guess
that went to-
Fear, yeah,
Fear, which was old Thunder
came.
Predator.
Noping has a
Yeah.
Romanian coach, but he's not really a super known coach. He did bring SG to, I think
Yeah, that was
he was one
SG.
of the
Yeah.
big differences. And now he's with Noping.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think one of the
overall-
difficulties for the
Yeah.
Hispanic players in the region is that they really don't speak English. Like some of them, I think Thunder Predator or the old Thunder Predator now Lava has the best English understanding, particularly because Moose speaks a really good English.
Mhm.
But I know these guys, like Panda has an okay English. I know like Oscar, for example, does not speak it at all. Like, it's just difficult. Like how do you bring a coach that
Yeah.
communicates with only half your team, right? I don't think that's a good idea, personally.
Yeah.
I mean, you just show them the numbers, sometimes. What
Uh,
works, what doesn't work.
I guess what you
I
want.
guess you can do stuff more about your opponents if your teammates
Mm-hmm.
don't really understand as much, but you can show them about how your opponents play and what are the good heroes in the meta, the statistics. I think it's easier to talk about that.
Yeah, I think so. I also feel like a big problem with these SA teams is that the expected salary of a coach, usually DNA and European coaches, is so much higher than what it's usually normal here. So I think
That's true.
it's like very hard for them to afford a coach. I think Fear was probably one of the only ones, right? And Thunder Predator
And
hired.
he got paid more. He got paid a good amount. That was the
Yeah,
point,
man.
right? Like I think most coaches cost more than the whole team from the Predator.
Yeah,
I genuinely mean this.
Yeah, I think so.
They also have to move to Peru, which is a whole other thing. Not everyone's necessarily willing to do that because that's a whole new starting a new region. Most people want to play or live in the Western Europe or the Western Europe or North America, perhaps. Some people willing to relocate to SCA. I think Lima is less so. Also, I don't know. I mean, not every team. I mean, I think a coach benefits most teams, right? But in the case of Thunder Predator right now, old Noping, Matthew kind of fulfills that role of a coach, and he's really good. I know, like, obviously it's extra work for the player, and ideally you have someone else to do that. But Matthew is so good at being a captain and being a coach and running those drafts, and he's like one of the most vocal players. He's like super eloquent, very communicative. It's hard to find someone that can fulfill that role as well as he is, and sometimes it's difficulty of a coach, right? How will you respect this coach if you already have a player on your team that's better than him at all the roles the coach has to do? So I think Matthew, that's why he's never been coached. Actually, he's never been with in a team with a coach before.
I mean, there are definitely the benefits of having a coach, even though
Yeah.
you have a player that can be the captain, because
Mhm.
usually when it's very stressful and you're playing a lot of games, I would say that there's a very huge possibility that you're gonna play a lot worse because you have to do so many things. So it's
Right.
very hard.
Okay.
I mean,
I
So you
sure,
think-
when things are going well, then it's easy.
I totally
Yeah.
agree.
I think for the majors, particularly, like for DPC, because they have a whole week, I don't think it's that big a deal. But for the majors, when, as you say, the volume of games increases, I do agree that's when.
Yeah,
think
that's
the
why
coach probably
certain
comes to
teams
play.
they play much better online rather than at a LAN, because the
Mm-hmm.
setup and the scheduling, everything is different.
Mm. I also feel like if whatever SA team from either Division 1 or 2 actually get a coach, I do hope they do it very early, because I feel like having a coach is like a long-term project. Just getting a coach 10 days before a major and expecting that to like completely change your team, I think it's very unrealistic.
Unless you
So
trust the person a lot. Unless.
yes,
Yeah.
and that is very hard, especially with the language barrier, and it's tough. I think it adds a lot of complexity. So yeah, but I don't think besides Noping, either of these teams actually have a foreign coach, which makes
No,
sense, right?
Well, Hokori doesn't have a foreign coach, but for them it's foreign though. They have Astini now.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
he
foreign
is,
is like outside of South America, but yeah, that is true.
I know, but like because he's Brazilian, Hokori is a Spanish-speaking team, so Astini will be coaching them. They do speak again those like combination of Spanish Portuguese enough to communicate with Astini because they used to play with analog, so I know that they're like okay with communicating. But for now, that hasn't really worked out for them. Not that I don't think Astini is at fault for that, to be honest. He just came in, and I think
he
that,
only
that
played one
speaks
series,
to your
right?
point. Yeah. I think that speaks to your point, though, Bowie, that like you can't bring a coach in like right before you have your first match at DPC and expect him to do a lot before then, right?
Yeah, it's
Kinda
a
has
lot
to build the
easier
team.
if the coach he's there at the beginning.
Mhm.
Make a lot of things a lot easier.
How do you get a team to trust
but
you?
you guys keep mentioning about the language, so I guess it must be a huge like issue. Choosing a coach that can understand all the players. It's a huge problem then.
Yeah. It is one of the biggest problems in the region. As we get into the draft, by the way, we can talk about the draft language now instead.
All right.
Because drafts is like conversation, except one person is
First
screaming at you
face
and you're
storm
trying to
ban.
respond.
What is happening?
That's a
Okay,
Mr.
Storm.
Jeans ban, right?
Yeah, but first phase. That's very unusual.
Well, so maybe they might consider because this is Thunder Predator is a team that has Dark Mago, right? Which is someone with a very low hero pool. Mr. Jeans might fit into that category. So something they did against Thunder Predator was that they would ban certain heroes to force Dark Mago into a certain playstyle, right? And they might think the same thing about Mr. Jeans and want to abuse that. Like Storm is one of his most mobile heroes, compared to like his Vipers and Razors, which he likes playing. So that might be the idea.
Yeah, I think like the weirdest part of this ban for me is that usually if you do have the last pick of the first phase, it makes sense to pick kind of relatively unusual core right at the beginning. But I don't think Hokori actually had any chance picking Storm that early, but they will go Kunkka. I like it. I'm not sure we saw carry Kunkka in South America so far, but you do have that flags. I guess even off lane is relatively common in pubs, so that's a pretty solid pick.
Yeah, but usually when you see this kind of first ban core hero that is not a top tier pick or you can't really pick early, it usually means that the subsequent bans are going to be bans against a certain player.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 100%, but usually when this happens, that's the route the team is going to go with. I mean, it happens a lot when the player can only play like maybe 3 heroes, 4 heroes.
Right, so you think that now you like ban 1 or 2 more heroes from the mid laner as well.
But now they're banning Rubik, so I think it's probably not.
Which is definitely a Misho hero, so it's a targeted ban to a degree as well. But
yeah, but the thing is, when they ban Storm, their opening heroes doesn't suggest that Storm counters one of them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that's why it's an interesting ban. I really do think Mr. Jean's hero pool is not that wide either, though. So maybe 1 ban is all that you need, right?
Yeah, and I guess this Kunkka, I think there's a pretty high chance it's just going to be metal, so they're targeting other things.
Yeah, you were talking about the carry Kunkka, right? I actually personally I'm a big fan of that hero as a carry role right now. I feel like you want a carry that can participate and help your team be rich at the same time. Because traditionally, carries, you want to be rich at the expense of your team, Your team is going to do shit on the map, and then you're going to farm, you're going to hit creeps, and then you get rich. But I feel right now the meta is the carry has to be rich. At the same time, he needs to help his team be rich. If you are the only one rich on your team, and everyone else is poor, the game is really hard. Really, really hard.
Yeah.
So you see this carries right now TPing to the off lane to secure the tower, instead of like, I think previously, before in the previous metas, maybe 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, you see the carries just farming ancients and jungling, stacking. But right now you're looking at more active carries that TP to the off lane and secure the tower, which is a pretty important move to help your team get momentum on the map.
I totally agree. And he's also so self-sustaining, right? You just rush Helm with no boots, and you rush that armlet if you need any resources.
You don't lose your lane, basically.
Yeah, you expect the fountain. He defends towers really well. He farms stacks.
That's actually
everything.
bullshit. That he can actually just go back to the fountain like that.
As in bullshit.
Hey, they decreased the cooldown. They decreased the cooldown. It's crazy. Like he got so many buffs.
Yeah, free refill.
Today we were talking about his talents as well. Like his talents are crazy. 30 damage at level 10, 16 strength at level 15. It's
Did it get changed?
No, it's just that he's just always been strong. He's just always had like really good talents. And what they did change was level 20 and 25 now, right? Because he gets extra cleave at level 20 now, which is actually good for carry Kunkka. And the chance for the tiebreaker cooldown reduction, which is fine. Ghost Ship Fleet is really strong too, so it's like whatever.
Yeah, in the past you had to choose the extra cleave versus the fleet, and now you can get both. So,
Yes.
And you also get the crit a little bit earlier, so it's really good.
Extra cleave was also like at 25 a bit too late in my opinion. I think at 20 is perfect. It does. I think it's carry Kunkka, by the way, because you can run it with either AA or Bane. It's a pretty strong combination, but we'll see. Thunder Predator with a Clockwork at Baden, though. What do you guys think of the Mars with the Clockwork? Are you fans of this idea?
I don't mind it. It's but I guess this Mars is gonna be metal then, because they do get this Venom.
Mars mid?
Yeah, I guess Katarmago does play it, and then Veno to counter Kunkka, one of the just traditional melee counters, right?
I mean, honestly, they can do either way, depending on the matchup, I guess.
Oh, right, they can just follow the Kunkka wherever he goes.
Yeah, they can. Who lanes better with Kunkka? I guess Veno. Veno
Yeah.
can actually dominate.
Yeah, Veno kills him, especially in the side lane, right?
I'm not sure though. Can't you just cleave the wards? I think I'm pretty sure it works.
You can't. No, you don't cleave the wards.
You don't cleave the wards?
No.
Okay.
We had had this discussion on another panel. I know, but I'm sure.
I mean, all of your clones amassing so much knowledge at the same time.
Once I joined them
That's not
together,
fair,
it's
dude.
incredible.
Yeah, you have this network of avos just working, learning non-stop. How can anyone compete?
I mean, if Clockwork gets a really good start, he's gonna bully the enemy supports.
Yeah, both supports are. I guess Bane's a little better versus Clock, but AA just gets destroyed.
Yeah, it's tough to be
you're
Bane.
You're just praying you get gold to buy 4 stuff.
Also, getting a Fiend script off against the Clockwork seems almost impossible, right? This is especially Clockwork Bane. Clockwork Abaddon. How do you get a Fiend script off against these two heroes?
Yeah, like Bane is gonna be like a trade bot at 5 minutes, and then his game, unless they snowball, his game's gonna be super hard.
I mean, this is the thing when you go for the support duo, like it's like you have double position 5 heroes, you know. And generally, if you open with supports like this, you have a very high chance of getting like countered by some very unique hero or a special hero. Like the more balanced support duo usually, in most cases, is like if you pick a Earth Spirit with Witch Doctor in like one of the previous games we see, like both heroes, the combo is more stable. You don't get countered so easily. But they go for the Quap. They don't really have good setup to get her, apart from maybe if you get speared by the Mars.
Yeah, that's true. She has a good lane as well against Mars. This does reveal Kunkka is going to be in the side lanes. We'll see where.
Have you guys seen any Quap carries recently?
No, but it was
Not
being tried a
recently.
bit before. Remember? I remember that.
Yeah,
NA, I think. Was it EG that tried it?
I think it's legit. It's just not picked that much, but
The build is the same, right? You go Orchid, then BKB AC.
Well, the old
I think
build,
it's
yeah. 'cause
okay
mid-comps don't
versus.
build.
It actually kind of destroys this Clockwork Venomancer lane, so I wouldn't mind if they just play Quap carry and send Kunkka
Yeah,
mid.
I mean, if you have Kunkka and Quap, your lane is whatever, you know. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah? Okay, that would be an interesting idea.
All
I mean, you can always Kunkka
now
off
Because
lane.
if
Van
you send the
carries.
Mars, if you send Mars or Venom off lane, both they don't really do well against the Quap.
Right.
Yeah. They take this fan. What else is really good here for Thunder
I mean,
Predator?
at this rate, there will be no more normal carry heroes in the game. Everyone's just gonna be picking the half carry heroes, you know, half fighting, half carry heroes.
Yeah, Razor's popular as well, so he's the other one. And we've seen SF carry as well, which is disgustingly stupid.
Oh yeah, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw the game.
It was a secret, right? Unisha picked it?
SA actually had two.
I mean, it's
Jesus.
basically the same
Lower
concept
division
as
game.
a Kunkka or Quap carry, but you're just more vulnerable as a SF on the side lane.
Have you seen the build he went for, though? It was souls and stats. He didn't actually go for any points and raises, which I thought was crazy.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would just
Yeah,
right
yeah.
click.
Yeah. It wasn't the concept at all. It was just a glass cannon SF.
Wait, that was like something like in Dota 1 you would do that.
Yeah.
The damage and stats, and you just buy Mask of Madness and just right click people Shadow Blade.
That's what Fear said as well.
It's pretty much a
tell me what-
Medusa. Like you just have a lot of right click, you get ages, and because of the talent, the building talent armor, you just melt buildings. Like if you actually don't get punished, which they didn't, this hero like sieges really well.
Yeah.
Lunar.
I like this as a very stable pick, right? Most lanes are decent for her. What
Oh,
the fuck?
yikes.
Hokori's just full cheese, dude.
Oh God.
What is this? Off lane?
It's
Yeah.
offlane Broodmother, carry Kunkka, and mid Queen of Pain.
He was banned versus Hokori when No Ping played
Oh
against him.
no, so they have to put the Mars against the Brood, then where does the Luna go?
Yeah, what do you do, right?
Yes, true. Luna
Oh,
against
no.
Kunkka or Luna against Queen? No, you can't do that.
Wait.
I think
Oh,
you don't
no.
mind just because the new brood, like you don't get the broodlings that early, but you still like gonna be like you're gonna be totally taken out of the lane very early. You know, actually talk about Hokori being like kind of had to choose this game to win, and I think they did it. I think their draft looks
pumped.
really solid.
What about you, Winter? Do you like this cheese?
I mean, Brood, I say they need cheese, but okay. Fine, I'll go with the cheese.
They went too far.
All right. We're going with the cheese. Let's see if Hokori can edge out a victory with his cheese. This is really interesting. And to cast this wonderful encounter, we have two very non-cheesy casters, who's very serious professional casters. It's going to be Gareth and Trent.
Well, what an encounter it is going to be, Arvo. Yes, some cheese comes out for Hokori. The panel was expecting it, and we do see it in that last pick. Trent, but Broodmother, a different hero from what, 2-3 years ago. You know, like have these spiders early on. Is it that much of a cheesy pick nowadays? Do you reckon?
I think when she's like at her peak, she's still very cheesy. Because to me, the whole hero now more relies on like the level 6 timing and what you do with that. You're basically just trying to like double dig on someone down into their tower, take it, and then start like immediately pressuring all of their jungle and their tier 2. So it's like it's kind of cheesy because you still need the right counters for it to feel good.
But you've got ways to kind of play around it early on, right?
Yeah.
It's no longer that level 1, level 3, I'm destroying you in lane. Like you said, it's more like level 6, and then flick the switch to be ready and raring to go. Double team smoke. Ward gets placed by Dark Margot very early on, though. Oh, did he get spotted there? Yeah. I know the Mars was nearby, but they might now think that he's placed his ward on the right-hand side, when in fact it's right under the nose of the Bane. There's some curious wards coming out. Look at this very deep one bottom near the tier 1 tower. They see the webs, they know Brood is nearby. And also, a high ground ward there looking towards any rotations. I guess potentially coming from the clockwork.
Spot the spider. He's just waiting here. They saw the Brood walk in, and they thought maybe he's gonna walk right here, but they don't know that he went up there. Vitaly gonna be all right.
And they lose eyes. So the Radiant are going to go for both of the bottom bounty runes. Yeah, Dire's starting to ping out the Radiant triangle, saying, hey, they're all down here. There's probably nobody up top.
And Almisho, of course, not going to be able to get in there. No way to threaten. Tries to force out a cogs or something, but Matthew's not blinking either at the bottom rune. So we'll just go even Stevens across the board here.
So now we get to that position of where do we go with lanes? Because Winter brought something up where potentially you chase the Kunkka around with a Venomancer, then do you have to put Mars against Brood? Where does Luna go? Do we see any lane shifting happening, really?
Well, I think we're set up now that this should be the way it goes. I don't imagine people want to change. My only concern, of course, will be just the Brood. You just want to make sure the Brood gets a good start because, like you pointed out, your spiders aren't there right away anymore. But this looks like a pretty good lane, I would think. Just because you have the Bane with you to secure things early. And I don't think Pandaboo, or now as he's tagged, Pandamoo. Oh, well, that's a great start. Just gets a courier. Here I was looking for some downsides to the ABBA, but that's solid. By the way, I feel like Vitaly can sustain through this, right?
I think so. There's like very little burst damage. I mean, there's just very little damage in general from Luna and Abaddon. It's more of a sustain lane, right? You think back to your Spectre Warlock lanes, your Witch Doctor Luna, whoever it might be. You're just there, gather farm on your Luna, hope that bad things don't happen to you. Much more exciting in these other lanes, though, right? Kunkka against Veno, and of course Mars against Queen of Pain, already turning out to be a bit of a brawl between Mr. Jeans and Dark Margot.
Yeah, we actually had this discussion the other day. I feel like Winter was there for that, but this idea of using the cogs early and like how painful it is. Like, sure, you get to hold the wave and stuff, like which they did here to delay it and everything, but man, level 1 cogs, like He's like running up and trying to mana burn them, and it costs you more mana than you remove, unless you hit both of them, which unfortunately Matthew wasn't able to. So this just feels a little bit ugly. I feel like Matthew's gonna be running into a tier 2 pretty soon at this rate.
And this is coming from the master of cogs himself. I saw you recently got a speed running record.
I'm not gonna lie, it was really easy. It wasn't that hard. I looked up, I saw the guy do it, I was like, wow, he missed a lot. And then I did it, and I was like, this isn't gonna last very long. And the guy's already beat it. He sent me the video. So shout out to you, dude. Hold on, I gotta look up his name because he deserves a shout out. I appreciated his effort. I forgot to message him back. But yes, you too can do it, guys. I promise. It did not take long. You can become the world speed running champion. Yes, Riker, the Riker. Well done. Great Clockwork player.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing. I'd seen speedrunning, speedrunning Ancient, speedrunning Roshan. Didn't realize that speedrunning 100 last hits or denies was a thing.
Neither did I. I was like, oh. I told Slacks that the Arkosh content team should attempt it. Because there's the Roche record, and it looked pretty doable as well. And I feel like they could finally be world champions at something. Because we sure as hell know it's not going to be Dota.
Yeah, I remember a couple of speedrun. Like, there's quite a lot of crossover with Dota players and speedrun players. There's I think there's a Dutch guy called Onin who used to do Broodmother or Huskar. Only one player, like one hero, tries to finish the Ancient as quickly as possible. So you would send your courier with Armlet recipe and Blades of Attack, run down the mid lane, kill tower, then sit between tier 4s, Armlet toggling for 2 minutes. Yeah, it's some interesting stuff you can do. Well, just alone in a lobby if you've got some spare time.
That's actually how I view Broodmother now, though, is that she's the speedrunner. She just hits 6, and then she speedruns the bottom lane, right? You're taking the tier 2 faster than anyone expects you to.
Oh, Yuma did get trapped in the cogs, and the battery assault's ticking. Turns with that cleave, but it's the deny. Gardic takes down the Kunkka and looks for Matthew, but he has safely found a little hidey hole in the trees, so no first blood technically spilt just yet. It does mean that Kunkka has a journey back to the top lane. Full HP, full mana. But it's always a worry when a Venomancer has been allowed to get level 3 without too much in the way of protest from the Dire squad.
Man, what can you do, right? Like Kunkka versus Venomancer, these units just hate dealing with any sort of slows and walking around. And then eventually if the wards come out, Tidebringer just worthless versus that. He just saunters once you get the poison on him, too. Kunkka's not very fast. Even getting the boost
and then
this
AA
time.
Can't get close. Clockwork just sitting on the AA, so you can't even get that kind of whittling away of HP to put...
he might be dead here, though. If they hit
in the
Torrent
threshold.
and Cold Feet.
Oh, yeah, you're right. X mark. Back into the Torrent. He is held in place. Man, Matthew, what's he got left? No Fairy Fire, no anything. So first blood goes to Yuma.
Wow, imagine carry heroes with spells that let you do stuff. A wild concept. It's such a stark difference to your carry player just can't rotate at all. Then this guy's a mid for a reason, X and Torrent. I thought that he was gonna have to wing it with just Torrent. They'd still be able to do it, but getting the X early as well, that certainly changes the dynamic quite a bit now for Matthew on the Clockwork.
Dota 2's come a long way, Trent. We've moved away from those autocratic monarchies where Medusa and Spectre would be the top of the food chain, getting all the gold. Now we've got universal welfare. Everyone's getting gold putting into their bank accounts without having to do anything. People are spreading the wealth and giving gold to support heroes. We're getting items and ward slots and, all this good stuff.
Yeah, the 5s are still the serfs, though. We know our place. Don't worry.
We need an uprising. Viva la revolution! Pakaz, he's got shield behind him, so Pandamoot will keep that Luna alive. But I don't know, it's not a comfortable lane anymore, as Broodmother's hit 4 and Bane just always on them.
His inventory is so green. Fairy Fire, slippers, gloves. All right, now he's got Agi Tread. Still green, still good. Green is good,
Green is good.
Lean, mean, green fighting machine. He's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
We don't have a pizza item in Dota, do we?
What?
That's next, Ice Frog.
I think he's more health conscious, with the mango and everything.
Oh, the mango, the cheese.
Although fruit's a bait. I mean, let's be real. Fruit's not that great for you guys. The vitamins are cool now, but whew, some sugary. Up top.
Oh, Arena
Spear.
Yeah, Mars Dark Margo's decided that top lane is his now. Sonic Wave does fly out onto him, and the X-Mark drags the Mars under the tower once more for Mr. Jeans to take down that Mars. It's going to feel pretty good as the Queen of Pain. You don't... I mean, Kunkka has died twice now. You're not too bothered about it. Queen of Pain getting a head start feels real nice.
I'm just disappointed that you go up top, you get a triple Sonic Wave, and you only get like one hero dying. You know? A little disappointing.
And what's Matthew doing? Matthew stunned up. And yet again...
I think he's feeding, Gary.
Try and cogs himself out of here. He's dead.
Really wants that catapult to do some work up here. Willing to throw the body in to try and help it out.
It's just that single point in X-Mark is causing so many issues for him. Oh, Broodmother having a go at Luna. Insatiable hunger.
Oh,
and
okay,
the TP.
this is bad. When you are TPing out and the Brood's level 5, that is bad. I know that one. Not a good sign.
And into the jungle we go.
Yeah, we're out. Goodbye. All right, tier 2 tower, 12 minutes. Hokori win. That's my prediction.
What, bottom lane?
Yeah, that's what they need. They need bottom lane tier 2. Now, here's the issue, though, is that that's not going to happen because they have a mid-Mars. And he can cover that bottom lane pretty well, even when the spiders are up. And that's a pretty scary threat for a Broodmother because with the way Brood likes to play, Arena shuts down a lot of that, right? Like, coming in out of the trees, Arena Spear. Can be a little bit scary. You get the angles right.
Yeah, and then just like God's Rebuke, Spider's gone.
Yeah.
We'll see if they come down here. Tier 1 taking a beating. No glyph for the Radiant either. And they're just focusing on getting Dark Margo towards his first couple of items. I guess equally top lane, you know, it's being pressured. I guess equally is the wrong word. It is being pressured, but slowly taking damage compared to that bottom lane, which has already died.
Benno's like the only hero in the game that feels... Well, it's not the only hero, but it's definitely the one I always think of when I think of 2-2-2 builds. There's such good value points on all three of the first skills.
Let's see if Matthew can save him.
Though.
He chucks his spells out, but yeah, X-Mark boat and the Cold Feet snap. DD Queen of Pain's arrived. Matthew hiding behind the trees and bringing a couple of buddies. Walking over the Ice Vortex, though, and Dark Margo unable to get towards anyone.
My brain just got so confused. I thought he had denied him somehow because I saw the giant exclamation mark, and then I realized it was just from the cog. I was like, how did he reach him? How?
Ranged clockwork.
Yeah, all these Queen of Pains, though, I've seen so many denies lately, especially like in the mid game or like after the talent comes out too sometimes. As down bottom, though, there's that issue you can be afraid of. It just gets out. Oh, lucky Brood.
Doesn't look like she's got any spiders left. But she's like, just forcing the Mars down there, forcing the arena to be used like defensively, basically, means that the limited moves that Thunder Predator had now diminished even further. Like, we don't have level 6 Clockwork, so there's no hookshot initiation. We don't really have Venomancer or Luna making active plays because they are very static heroes, you know, innately.
Yeah.
So it's down to Dark Margo and this Mars to do everything in like the first 20 minutes, basically.
It is a huge time sink for Vitaly, though. Like, he's still walking back, and he's so slow. It looks pathetic compared to your normal Broodmother speed. Have to rebuild your army, but, you know, by the time he's back, the arena will probably be there again as he makes it to the tower. But like you said, like, okay, but then what's everyone else going to do? Now, they do have Pakaz just farming up a storm on the Luna, so it's not the worst-case scenario. Old nightmare attempt here.
Yeah.
He's trying to see how many allies are around, I guess.
Just like the instant shield, and then Bane's like, I see. There's people behind you.
This is the I don't have a ward bait, you know? He's just pretending that he doesn't have this vision, seeing over these other supports nearby.
Mm-hmm.
He's a genius. Of course, they also have a sentry that actually sees that ward, I believe. Unless it... Oh, it's just outside, actually.
Is it just?
I think it is. That one by Bane right now. I don't think they see that. Oh, wait.
It's very close. The grip. Pakaz, not too bothered about it.
Did he self-canceled, but there was actually a torrent coming through and an ice blast, but I don't know. They might have been able to do it.
It's just like another shield and, you know, the backup of like a Clockwork or someone who theoretically could be level 6 at this point.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it was the shield.
Tomes consumed.
It was probably a shield. I thought he just canceled because the Gale was coming, but I wasn't looking over at the ABBA.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
mean, yeah, that's definitely one of those things too. Is that if you guys haven't played this matchup before, because it's a little counterintuitive, I feel like to a lot of viewers, is that you can just aphotic shield off Fiend's Grip, which feels really awful. Because you think of things like Black Hole or something, you're like, well, you can't like Fiend's Grip them off of that, but that, it's still a unit target that Bane's got, so you can still dispel it. And yeah, it is very depressing when you're playing Bane, no doubt.
Yeah, it's like the panel was saying, playing Bane into Clockwork and Abaddon, Hookshot, Battery Assault, and Aphotic Shield, all ways to handle the grip. So Mars's home is bottom lane now. Just stay down here and deal with the Broodmother as best he can, and maybe even find a pick on the Bane.
Yeah. Well, he just had his Avo experience. There's his Clockwork experience.
Collect them all.
Sure, usually Bane, you will die to everyone on the team. That's a pretty standard feature of playing the hero.
That's true. I don't know, you push Brood back for like 30 seconds, she farms 2-3 camps, comes straight back to the lane. Not really accomplished too much. What's she building? Because we saw, what was it, season 1 or 2, or both, Vitaly go for that pipe mech Greaves build on Brood, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know what the hot stuff is. Brood is just so different from game to game, from pubs to pros. Yeah, I imagine Aura base still seems pretty solid to me.
Yeah.
Still get your.
I guess
Orchid's also a pretty hot item right now too, but there's an Abba, as you said, so I don't think we're going that direction.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Like, we've seen the Aura build, but there's also that like Diffusal BKB Ags, the Orchid, different ways to go. But they probably feel like they've got enough damage and control from Kunkka, Queen of Pain, who will have themselves what looks like a reasonably fast Orchid on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, and Greaves are insane with the rum buff. They're so
yeah,
broken.
you're right.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, hey, is Kunkka rushing BKB or is he finishing Armlet? I'm looking at his quick buy in his inventory right now.
He doesn't
genuinely
know.
Confused. Oh, Dark Margo. He's got the Arena Spear. Vitaly, pretty tanky on the Brood, getting pushed back left and right, away from the cogs, and are we getting out of sight? No! The hookshot's there from Matthew. Now the Bane going to get closed in on by Pakaz. Another Lucent Beam will be there. And Thunder Predator bringing 4 heroes down to handle that Brood lane. Definitely alleviating some of the pressure.
The Mars Clock gank squad is just impossible to really get away from his Broodmother. Like, between the flare and the hookshot and then just the arena to just like kill all the trees and let you actually see what the heck's going on. It's so useful for catching. In hindsight, this may have been a dangerous pick.
It may have been. Oh, the Lunar hunting squad walks straight into an Eclipse. Pakaz, Sonic Wave back, but Mr. Jeans is about to die to the Glaives, bouncing between himself and
Ice
Gareth.
Blast! It's 5 seconds away!
Oh, dearie me.
All right, turn and
no
burn.
Shot for
No!
9. In comes Dark Margo. Spears the poor ancient apparition up against the side of the wall. That's some real snappy, decisive action from Thunder Predator, right? Bottom lane, onto the Brood, in their own triangle, defend the Luna.
That is very unfortunate timing. That was one of the bigger nerfs a while ago for AA, right? Last time AA was really popular. We got this scaling on the ulti. 60, 50, 40. And there's the big pain right there.
And they move even faster.
They're going to run into the Brood. But of course, see, there's the issue, though. You still have to deal with that because it's still a Brood. But I like it for finding. I'm surprised he didn't just like try and hookshot.
Yeah, probably worried about the spider army, but
yeah,
just like very, very quick moving from that. Like, it was literally like ping pong, bottom lane, triangle, bottom lane, just moving as quickly as they can to find these targets. And now it's Clockwork's turn. Gets spotted out, put into the torrent. Not dead just yet. Pops his wand and looks like he might just survive. In fact, as Thunder Predator destroy a massive army of spiders, causing my PC to explode, basically. And now aiming towards mid.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to plug in a keyboard. Who ever thought wireless was a good idea? Just kidding. It's actually pretty convenient. I do like it, except when I don't plug it.
Now I've been using a wireless mouse for a couple of years now. Best thing ever.
I can't do it. Too scary.
Hello, Matthew. Gardic throws his Ice Blast, and the boat's going to help keep him up and running, but again, there are just so many Thunder Predator heroes swarming around one target. They get the kill and move into tier 1.
When Dark Mago misses this kill on Brood, it's because his battery died in his mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why he couldn't kill him. That's why he just didn't let him walk away and not even bother trying. Not because he doesn't have Arena. Not because Spear and Broodmother don't mix that well. It's because his battery died. I just want you to know that the dangers of a wireless mouse.
So dangerous, Trent.
Yeah. And what about that, like, 0.00001 latency that you're achieving here? My mouse cable's only 5 centimeters long, so... Oh, no! Dark Mago!
Oh, that's a good spear. Oh,
that's
and a stick
saved.
charge. He's fine. Abaddon comes in just in the nick of time.
I got one rule. Don't give Panda the ABBA. I feel like it's his most competent hero. He's just always there. And I like the way
and he
the
dodges
team
the
let
Ice
him...
Blast as well.
Nice. Yeah. The team let him TP in first, right? Like, no one else is panicking in. If he's not the first TP in there, Dark Mago's definitely dead.
Oh, yeah. Dark Mago sidesteps the Ice Blast and comes straight back down the bottom again. Vitali gets nightmared up, but transferred across, and they should be able to take him down. And in the meanwhile, they're also moving into that top triangle. Mr. Jeans throws the Orchid and a dagger onto Abaddon. And they do have this little bit of vision spotting them coming in at the same time. But that hook shot, Matthew throws a rocket flare and goes straight in towards him.
You don't want any piece of this guy.
No.
Wait, what?
Look how tanky Matthew is, though. 1500 HP, 11-1 charges. Queen of Pain is going for it, but with Pandamoo behind him, Matthew is feeling safe and sound.
Gets the piggy out of there, too.
Luna has BKB. Does she want to use it? Does she need to use it? The Dire just all run away.
The BKB first is so interesting on Yuma. Like, I mean, you pointed out, like, so long ago, we never really went back to it, but I feel like I just don't see this. It's not that expensive towards the armlet. I don't know. With, like, compared to the speed at which you're also going to increase your farming, it seems kind of
it's like
odd.
something... I feel like I've seen it from mid-kunkers when you're behind, and you're like, okay, sure, I can't go for whatever, halberd, armlet, radiance. I'll just buy a BKB. But yeah, I mean, it's not just the kunker either, right? The Luna also this game went for a very fast BKB. Goes back for the Dragonlance after disassembling. Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, BKB Luna, 12,000 net worth. Pakas is having a great game. Onto the Bane. Almisho, a Nightmare. Slows down the advance from Luna, but Pakas
beautiful.
Still there.
Gives him the vision with the flare for the easy finish.
Can they kill Dark Mago bottom? No.
Dude, I feel like I haven't seen Oscar in so long. Just chilling.
What heroes he played?
The Venno. Ever since that laning stage, he kind of hung around mid. He's just been holding the tower, playing a little tower defense here with his planting his wards, and as one would expect, they're just gonna head right into the Roche pit. Get this on there.
He's buying all the small items.
Solar Crest as well there on Oscar, so this will be nice and quick. And what is the payoff here for Hokori? Nothing really. Dark Mago just continuing to hold this bottom lane. They're on the move, though.
They're coming towards Roshan, who's not dead just yet. That Ice Blast causing some issues. Dark Mago does launch the spear towards the Brood. The Nightmare yet again, just keeping Vitali out of arm's reach, away from Pakas. Oh, the hook shot, though. Matthew slices straight between three of them.
I think he
Cogs
missed,
on
though.
Kunker, but there's no follow-through. Who was he aiming for?
He was aiming for Vitali, but it just skirted right past. He even got like the little stun on the way by and caught those two in the back, I'm pretty sure, because Vitali kind of sidestepped a little bit there, and you can see the run buff wearing off there, still surviving, and heads to the jungle for the recharge.
Roshan delayed, though. Radiant don't get their hands on it.
No, remember that kill on the Bane used the Eclipse, so it's actually coming back fairly soon. It'll be about the same timing as the boat. They jumped, though.
And she's got no BKB, but she's got the shield from Abaddon. They tried to Nightmare to stop him from saving, but in comes Dark Margot, aiming for the Bane. El Misho pushed back by the Cogs, and also zoning out the
another
Brood on
save?
the Pain. So Matthew survives thanks to the shield and the heal. And Oscar's joined. Oscar's playing Dota 2. He's clicking buttons and he's running away.
Retreat. He came in and snagged the kill on El Misho, so it's okay.
Oh! The instant annihilation. Rocket Flare plus the God's Rebuke.
Damn. That was 429 damage just from that rebuke. Absolutely smoked him. And back to finish off what they started there. Panda Boo / Panda Moo. What a game. Great heals,
Who
great
needs
saves.
items? Just Tranquil's one. That's all he needs.
I just love being able to run in and like threaten vision as Ava. It feels so good. He's the follow-up of Blink, Mars ulti, and Hookshot. Like some of the best you can get. Like next, what's next? Like Storm and Haunt, basically, I guess, or some of the other ones for in terms of just like the range of initiation that you have. And if they try and chase you, you're just pulling them into the bog. Just a little Polywog, a Venomancer Frog. Then my guy's gonna hit you with some cogs. If I had a timber saw, we cut down some logs. If there was Lycan, he could summon some dogs.
Oh.
If there was Windrunner, she goes for a jog. I think that's it.
You'll run out eventually. Dear me. I forgot what I was going to ask you now.
Sorry, yeah.
You've melted my brain with your rhyming abilities.
It's all the children's books, you know.
So much Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
You can't handle it anymore.
Nah, he cheats. He just makes up words. That guy's a hack.
Isn't that like the defining factor of a great poet?
It's like, oh yeah, okay. Congratulations.
Well, that's what Shakespeare did, and he's regarded as one of the literary geniuses. Just make up words. They'll become English language eventually. 300 years later, they'll put it in a dictionary for you.
The only one I know is eyeball.
That Shakespeare invented?
Yes, and I think crocodile.
I can't remember. There's like, I don't know.
It's a
tens of
humongous
words
list.
that-
It's
Yeah.
so many words. Yeah,
like,
Shakespeare
literally-
was more than one person. Yeah, I don't know what the theory is these days. Dinosaurs
Oh,
have
really?
feathers too, guys. All right.
See, that one I'm down with.
Oh, that one's just true.
Dinos
but
are big birds.
Jurassic Park would not have looked nearly as cool with the big chickens running around. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man. You imagine a T-Rex being as fluffy as a chicken? Or he's got like parrot feathers or...
I mean,
I
the
don't know.
fashion you could make would be fantastic. That's for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. People go wild for it.
Oscar gonna scout some tree lines here. Gonna be a Veno player. No.
Yeah, Hokori
El
kind
Misho?
of relegated to
Don't
spreading the map and split pushing.
Don't talk, El Misho. Be silent. I can't believe he's not warding in there right now. Of course, you never think of it. It's obviously just my bird's eye view. Oh, wait. What? Oh, Panda move.
Panda move senses something.
Yeah.
They're just going to go straight high ground.
Oh, but they got the warden
Luna with
behind,
Aegis.
too.
Straight onto that tier 3. Hokori have got to do something. They glyph the tower. Clear the creep wave. And now start filtering back and TPing.
Right. He's got a
Mount a
nightmare
defense of
panda.
this. But there's the spear back.
He's coming
Gonna get
in.
Sent down to the low ground.
El
Panda
Misho
move half
from
HP.
behind.
The boat is there. El Misho is coming in, but he's been pinged out. They
Team?
see him.
Team?
Pakas and Dark Margot, they're hunting for the Bane. He's all alone. The Scardy's slow, and there it is. Bane down with buyback available, though.
Oh, his play was so sick. He came in, he nightmares the Bane, and then he goes for the ulti onto the Luna.
Oh, they've got the Kunkka. Oh, he can't survive. No BKB for him. And that Mars Arena allows them to take down the Ancient Apparition too. Pakas still has Aegis and BKB, and it looks like that Nightmare has saved him from the X-Mark Torrent, while Pandamu just pops the borrowed time, runs away from the Broodmother. And Mars even going to buy back for this to secure this bottom lane of barracks for them, because Pakas is running rampant in the Dire base, stopping any kind of recourse from Hokori. Vitali dying to damage over time thanks to Oscar and this Venoman, so just pummeling them, slowing down Mr. Jeans.
Oh, give it to
the
him.
Scardy's slow is too much, and the Rampage handed over to Pakas Luna, who's had a perfect game. 8-0-3, closing in on 20,000 net worth, 25 minutes in, and the first set of barracks is dropping. Ice Blast launched in, clips onto the Abaddon. No borrowed time for 10 seconds, and they are going to be able to bring down the first life of the Luna. Finally, getting something. Also, Cold Feet snapping onto the Venomancer. Mr. Jeans will clear him up, and Yuma's Kunkka getting involved. Pakar's going to get dragged back. Can Dark Margo do anything to save him? He's holding a BKB. The Mars will fight, and Luna will join him, turning onto the Queen of Pain. Has she got a blink? Can she escape? No! Dead for 90 now, and Vitali, he's always eventually going to get the Pakar's kill. Dark Margo did buy back to come into this fight, so he can't be losing his life now.
Oh my god. All of this started from El Micho hiding in the tree line, and then essentially, like, I'm just feeling so comfortable. He goes back in!
He goes back in!
That ward!
What is he up to? What a madman! Well, he's got Panda Moo behind him, right? He's got that shield and heal, so he can keep moving forward. They've spent so much on this. What, 2 buybacks from the Radiant? I think 2 buybacks from the Dire as well, but the barracks will crumble.
Oh, man. I'm just so sad this whole setup didn't work. Like, they're so far behind. They need that one thing, and then Bane's lurking in the trees. It's like the dream of where it can be done, but they just couldn't get the team on the whole page, and, like, actually was able to remove Panda from that first engagement and didn't end up mattering. And I mean, Thunder Predator have just played so well this entire game. I think the patience that they've shown is the most important thing versus the Broodmother lineup, is you don't, like, panic, and they didn't give too much attention to the Brood's lane. I think Dark Mago did a great job of just being there the appropriate amount, farming up, leaving to do other stuff, coming back, pushing the wave out, farming it up a little bit. There's no panic.
Like, what, 5 minutes in, Luna leaving the lane, right?
Yeah.
Like, it feels bad in the moment where you're TPing away from a level 5 Brood to go AFK jungle, but everyone else has you know, picked up the pieces where they needed to.
And the way they play in this fight, too, just, you already see great initiations, and again, a rampage. It's a pretty good start to your day, I would say, and to a series.
Yeah, super. Feel good for him. I mean, Pakas, I feel, has been one of the star players of the SA DPC, no matter what team he's been playing on. What, his Anti-Mage, his Medusa, his Luna, whatever kind of fast farming hero he's playing, he's always breaking records and doing insane stuff. As Dark Margo on the Queen of Pain, Mr. Jean's going to BKB and blink away.
Not what you're hoping for there. Was that the 7-seconder? Oh, that was the 8. Okay, we got the 7 left now. Well,
Your base is about to be under attack, though.
Logic dictates that they should just wait for Roche. You know, we're a minute away. Will they do so? I don't know.
That's a DD rune. If Luna or Mars get their hands on this. Is Dark Margo going to take it? Yep, bottles it up. El Micho TPing away from bottom. As Matthew was starting to lurk behind. Is Matthew going to go for this? Hello, Ancient Apparition with a Force Staff. You're going to use your Force Staff now? Oh, I've got one of my own. Silenced up by the Orchid now, though, so Hook Shot is going to have to wait. That Sonic Wave Ice Blast. Not what he expected.
Gareth, tip him. Come on, tip him for game 2. Get the mentality going.
Is that your strat, the think ahead tip?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you only got so many per game, and you just got that kill. You know, you might as well find something. Some motivation. But he says, you know what? I would do that, but this game's not over. We're going to make this comeback. Seems unlikely, but I'll let you have a shot at it.
Yeah, we'll find this Venomancer. We'll find this Mars. Oh, the Mars will find us. DD Dark Margo. Oscar is going to get pulled into the grasps of Yuma, but Dark Margo is just slicing the backlines of Hokori. 2 supports down, no buyback, and Kunkka. Sans BKB. Just pummeled into the ground. And Thunder Predator know that they're in a 5 versus 2 right now.
Well, this is my second game of casting Abba today, and just thinking, like, man, what a hero. I know it has its bad games sometimes, but like when you get out of the laning stage and you're just like an average to above average farm support, it feels really good to play this hero. Why is it so easy for him to get all these saves this game? I guess because there's not a lot disrupting him if you look towards their team fight. Well, number one, they're ahead, right, as Thunder Predators. That's always going to make your life as a support easy. But there's also not a lot of like real obstructions getting in his way. I feel like his positioning, he's been doing a great job utilizing fog and tree lines, but he's also just sticking near the carries that matter, and this looks easy.
Yeah, I mean, Hokori, give it one last go here before calling it, but this game is most certainly over. I think it's also coming back to a point Winter made. When you pick AA and Bane as your, first and third pick, you don't have an Earth Spirit, you don't have a Tusk or a Clockwork, you don't have that hero that goes in and makes shit happen. You are fully reliant on your Broodmother disrupting laning stage, your Kunkka and Quap coming out of lane with something and doing something. But when Thunder Predator have an overfarmed Luna, which Abaddon can sit behind, the Mars and the Clockwork can play together and pair together the entire game, and Oscar's Venomancer, you said it like 15 minutes in. Oh yeah, he's in this match doing some stuff somewhere, getting farm which no one else was getting. Everything clicked into place for Thunder Predator.
Yeah, just some classic heroes for them, and that they know how to perform this kind of a lineup. So when they're handed that, and also Hokori going for the Broodmother, which of course is going to be a pretty boom or bust style hero. This was a bust. Maybe Huskar will work out better for them in the next game.
That is the question, right? Panel, Alvo, do you think Hokori are going to cheese or attempt to again in game 2, or do you think this is Thunder Predator's series to win?
All right. What's up, Winter? What do you thought of this game?
Bowie, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. What did you thought of this game, man?
The Brood didn't really work out. I actually forgotten that you only get spiders later. That's why I was thinking, oh, do they have to switch the lanes? You actually don't have to do that until later in the game when you can just move your Mars over to the lane. But I mean, the Abaddon actually worked. I think wonderful this game. He was able to just disrupt so much of the control from the Bane, the A, the Kunkka. The fights were just so difficult for them.
Yeah, I also feel like they were pretty close in some big rotations that didn't really close out. I think there was a time where Qual blinked into the triangle, got destroyed by the Eclipse. They didn't have a blast, so Luna lives.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah. And then bottom, there was rotation with Fiend's Grip on Mars, and he was like 10 HP. I think he had like the armor and HP region from the tier 2 tower. So it really felt like their momentum kind of got put to a close, and I also just feel like Thunder Predator played better. They just grouped up with their power spikes, and the game was over.
Yeah, I feel like when you have Kunkka and you have the Queen of Pain, and you're losing the early fights, and you don't really have a a proper offlane hero, you have a Brood, then because you're supposed to win all those fights at that stage when you have this kind of setup, and if you let the game drag out without any advantage, the Luna is just gonna outscale you. She was like, I think at one point around 6-7K ahead of the Kunkka, or maybe even 8K. So it was just pretty devastating for them to deal with the Luna. They had no answers.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I like the Brood last pick, but when you actually talked about it, you have two supports with pretty much no stuns, right? And you get this Brood. Like, he really cannot make any plays because your carry has to make plays, but then who's actually farming there? The Brood? Like, it definitely felt weird in that regard.
Well, I think it could work if they actually made better rotations. Especially like you mentioned, the kill, the attempted kill on the Luna when she was doing Ancients. They did just a 2-man rotation with the A and the Quap instead of bringing one more hero. Yeah, they could have brought one more hero. I felt like yeah, this is the one. I felt like they needed one +1 here instead of just 2 of them.
Yeah, the Cop definitely didn't expect so many points in Lucent Bean already, and she didn't have Orchid, so I think it was kind of obviously if they had another hero, they would have gotten the kill. But I think the jump from Mr. Jeans was pretty hasty, so kind of unfortunate at the end of the day. Yeah,
he had to. I think he had to wait a little bit more before he blinked in.
Yeah, but it was nighttime. Luna had the advantage.
Sorry, and also before that, I think she actually TP'd top with his first Sonic Wave, and he only got 1 kill. That was also pretty bad for him.
Yeah.
And the carry died. He couldn't save the carry.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I do like Hokori though. I think they are very inventive with their picks. I love this Kunkka carry, the Brood. I hope they kind of iron out the draft a little bit, but overall I like that they're very inventive. In general, that's very refreshing. I don't like seeing the same hero every draft.
I mean, they're in the right direction. I feel like whenever you are the underdog and you feel like if you play something normal, it's really hard to, have a good chance of winning.
Good chance.
Going for a strat like this is almost Like every time it's a pretty good idea, it gives you some extra chances to win. I mean, sure, they didn't really execute as well, but I like the fact that they're thinking that way. We have to try something different, take them out of their comfort zone, do something that they are not expecting us to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if they, by any chance win a couple of these games, then you pretty much get some extra bans for yourself. The next drafts are going to be a little easier because they might be forced to ban Brood and stuff. We'll see if they can take the game 2. I don't think it was like a super stomp, but definitely Thunder Predators seem more solid. So let's see if they can get a better draft from Hokori. That was pretty nice to watch overall.
I mean, it was just mainly, I feel like a huge part of it was the heroes, like when they opened the draft, it was what Conka plus Bane. Was
Yep.
it? Yeah, Conka plus Bane, and then there was a Abaddon to reply, and they still picked the AA after that. Then it means that the Abaddon counts as an extra hero, and and you don't get anything done in the laning phase. So then it becomes apparent that during the mid game, your heroes are countered by the shield, the Aphotic shield.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with the points. There was a game we saw earlier today where a team kind of forced a Tinker Bounty Hunter strat, right? And it was like the same idea of it, like cheese, but the thing, yeah, you saw that. But the things that around it just didn't really work out, right? Like the idea was correct one, but there were a couple of mistakes in the draft beforehand that kind of led them to a difficult position, and this seemed like that kind of game, right? I mean, we already talked at the draft about how difficult it was to play Bane, but I think it applied to just in general the support strategy. I'm happy to see cheese, but maybe these pocket strats should be a whole pocket strat thought of from the beginning, right? To kind of force this, even if I like the Konka carry. So that was maybe, I mean, besides the execution itself, right? Where I think Thunder Predator is just kind of outclassed them a bit.
I mean, it could have been a last minute thing. They felt like, their supports don't really deal with
Yeah, exactly.
the spiderlings, and their cores might not be able to move very well, and they wanted to, because sometimes I feel like certain players, when they look at Brood, they look at, if I'm playing against this carry that needs to do a lot of jungling, it's good to pick Brood because you can kill the tower quickly because the support can't really stop you, and then you invade the jungle and you stop him from farming the jungle, you take over the jungle. So that could also be one of the ideas behind picking Brood. I'm not really sure why, what's the main purpose there, but I mean overall it felt like it wasn't really planned, like you say. They are like planning a draft around Brood. I don't feel like they planned the draft around the Brood like that. It was just suddenly they felt like it was a appropriate pick for that game.
What do you feel like we should see here from Hokori in game number 2? Do you think the cheese? I mean, you always said the cheese star was the right. This kind of idea is the right way to go, right? What is the refinement that you'd like to see here?
Maybe the opening, because if you open with more especially the support duo, you open with a more balanced setup, then it's gonna enable you to pick more different heroes later. You have more options as your last pick. But this game, I don't think they're gonna have last pick, right? This game, because it's
probably not.
Yeah, it's gonna
sure.
be a switch over. So their draft, I don't think they can rely on the cheese so much when you don't have the last pick.
That's true. Bowie, you talked about how you pick these heroes, and sometimes maybe you force a ban on the Brood right towards the end. Like, this is a good idea, but do you think after this snoping it's really going to change your drafting strategy? They seem to have responded to this pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah. I meant that, like, if they win a couple of games with the cheese, they do claim the. But so far, yeah, didn't feel that impactful. I mean, it actually felt impactful, honestly. Like when they showed that rotation with the Sonic Wave top from the Quap. I just remember that Winter was talking about the fact that taking that tower early and occupying the jungle would probably slow down the farm of the Luna. Maybe if they rotated bottom instead of top, they would be able to take that tower earlier. Because the Brood by itself, it's so easy for the Mars to sit in that lane, and then like she doesn't really do anything. And then sure, you're farming a Brood, but she has I think she went pipe, right? So what do you really do with that? But it's weird. They were pressuring the Kunkka a lot, Quap fell force. They don't get any kills. Then everything just snowballs so hard out of that.
I do like that you mentioned that, though, because it seemed like the whole plan that they had from the draft in the get-go was just it was being built as the game went around. A moment that I loved from the cast that I also thought was very indicative of Hokori's strength was when Gareth goes, I don't know if he's building BKB or Armlet. I'm not really sure what the Kunkka is starting to build. And he had half of both items. And to be honest, Helm of the Iron Will as a first item just to sustain in lane is fantastic, right? So that's perfectly fine. But that was the idea of if you have to rush BKB on your carry Kunkka, that's not the best of positions to be in to begin with, right? So you're already in that position where you can't really utilize your strengths of your heroes. And Hokori was trying to adapt to that. I really commend teams that do that. but against Thunder, we need to see something with more of
I
an
mean, then
umph.
again, if you watch a lot of the recent games, I don't think it's that rare anymore that you see carries or any mid hero that needs a lot of farm. They are getting BKBs early because of how fast the
Mm.
game is being played right now. And if you look at the enemy lineup, the last game they had so much
No,
magic
it's a good
damage.
idea.
Banner, Mars, yeah, it's a pretty good idea. Even though you don't want to, usually you don't really want to get BKB early. You want to delay as much as you can. But I think in that game in particular and in the current meta, most of the time in a lot of games that you feel like if you want to defend your map or if you want to attack the opponent's part of the map, you have to get a BKB.
Do you think when you get a BKB, sorry, do you think when you get a BKB as a first item, it's kind of indicative of like you need to cover a lot of holes in your draft though?
I don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily the
Okay.
case because sometimes it's just the lineup of the opponent having a massive amount of spell damage from the get
Okay.
go, so you don't really have a